Hello and welcome back to Vintage Disney here on Brian's Things That Are Cool. This year marks the 32nd anniversary of Disney's controversial decision to blow a kid up. Okay, of course I'm talking about the sequel to Disney's 1989 classic Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, 1992's Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. The funny thing is, the original title was Honey, I Blew Up the Baby, so I guess it's a little bit better? Kinda? Thankfully, like the original film, we're talking about kids changing size. Bigger this time around. So let's catch up with the Zielinski family and have some big-time fun with Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Honey, I Blew Up the Kid started life as a script written by Hollywood Nights actor Gary Goodrow and his friend Peter Elbling, titled Big Baby, which was inspired by the B-movie The Amazing Colossal Man from 1957. Complete with a climax of the titular monster wreaking havoc in Las Vegas. The co-writer of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Stuart Gordon, liked Goodrow's script and optioned the script to pitch it to Disney, along with his own script for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Disney passed on Big Baby in favor of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and when that was a success, Gordon again pitched Disney the Big Baby script as the premise for its sequel. This time, Disney agreed, and Tom Eberhart was hired to bring the Zielinski family into Gary Goodrow's story. Between films, the Zielinski family have a new kid, Adam, who's now a toddler. As the mother is driving Amy, the daughter from the first movie, to college, that leaves Wayne, Nick, and Adam alone for a guy's weekend. When Wayne takes Nick and Adam by his work, where his shrink ray technology is being researched to see if it can achieve the opposite effect, Wayne unknowingly zaps Adam. Soon enough, Adam starts growing, eventually reaching the height of a creature from your average Japanese monster movie. Now it's up to Wayne, Nick, and Adam's babysitter, played by then Mouseketeer Keri Russell in her first role, to prevent any more carnage before anyone, including Adam, gets hurt. Bringing this new adventure to life is a pretty top-notch cast, consisting of returning favorites as well as some new faces. The whole Zielinski family returns, including Rick Moranis as Wayne, Robert Oliveri as Nick, Marcia Strassman as Diane, and Amy O'Neill as Amy. Between films, the Zielinskis have moved, so we only get a brief mention of the Thompsons. Shame, I would have liked to see Matt Frewer return.
This is a microscope. I know. Look in there. All right.
The rest of the cast is made up of established character actors like Lloyd Bridges as Wayne's boss, Lois and Clark's Lex Luthor himself, John Shea, here playing another villain role, SNL's Julia Sweeney in a brief role as a nosy neighbor, and in another, all too brief role as a lab assistant, the great John Paragon. That's right, Jambi himself.
Now everyone at home, Mecca Lecca Hi, Mecca Hiney Ho. Mecca Lecca Hi, Mecca Hiney Ho. Mecca Lecca Hi, Mecca Hiney Ho.
Keri Russell makes her feature film debut as the babysitter and Nick's love interest in the film. As she was a Mouseketeer at the time, the Mickey Mouse Club devoted an entire segment to going behind the scenes with her on her first big movie. I still vividly remember this whole segment, thinking it was so neat to see behind the scenes stuff. More than 1,000 children auditioned for the role of Adam, before they hired 2-year-old twins, Daniel and Joshua Schaliker. Hiring kids that young for a major role is rare, and they had their issues. They were deemed undirectable, resulting in them just allowing the twins to do whatever they wanted as the crew followed them around with a camera, using any footage they could. Some of the scenes with Rick Moranis were actually improvised. The scenes of a middle-sized 7-foot-tall Adam were performed by a grown man in a puppet mask, made to look like the boys, which again caused issues because if it wasn't lit well, the puppet head would look like Chucky. Luckily, in the finished result, it came out great. The twins would reprise the role of Adam in the theme park attraction Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, before being recast with Bug Hall in the 1997 straight-to-VHS sequel, Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves, despite their contract to appear in future sequels. No lawsuit came from the twins losing out on the sequel, but there were 2 lawsuits alleging parts of the story were lifted from existing scripts. One lawsuit was settled, while the other, Disney was forced to pay $300,000 in damages. The first film is one of my favorite family films, and this one, despite not being as good, is still a worthy follow-up. Like its predecessor, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid still showcases some pretty remarkable effects all these years later. Understandable given the $8 million effect budget. Sequels, especially from this period, fall into two traps. One is the, oh, just remake the first one issue, like say Ghostbusters 2 or Wayne's World. And then there's the trap unique to family films. The first one is a huge hit, but the powers that be recognize certain elements aren't 100% family friendly, and they overcompensate when the second one comes around. Thus, you wind up with a more kid-friendly version of something kids already liked, and you get Ninja Turtles 2 or Batman and Robin. In Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, you don't have the creative sets or scary creatures like the Scorpion from the first one. You have a happier tone, brighter colors, a cute baby, and a broader style acting from the adults. I was 6 when the first one came out, and 9 when this one came out. And even then, I could pick up on the lighter tone. I'd never say it talks down to you, it's just clearly trying to be more marketable to a younger demographic. It's not bad in any way, but it doesn't have that same adventurous feel as the first. The setup of the movie is an obvious one for a follow-up of a film about shrinking kids. Do the opposite. And for what it does fine. As I said, the effects still hold up. There's nothing bad in it for today's kids. There are some fun gags and new gadgets, including Wayne's solar van, which gets an exciting scene with Wayne driving it through a warehouse trying to locate his original shrink ray. You even get a fun little sight gag here of the Ark of the Covenant from Raiders of the Lost Ark being stored in the same warehouse as the shrink ray.
We have top men working on it right now. Who? Top men.
There's plenty to keep you entertained, but you may find that it doesn't stay with you as much as the first movie as you get older. Or bigger. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my look back on Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. If you'd like to be kept up to date as to when I release a new video, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and if you really want to be notified, hit that bell as well. I'm Brian, and I'll see you next time here on Vintage Disney.